What is the difference between Glat kosher meat and Beth Yosef meat? First of all, we have to know that the issue of meat, or kosher in general, has always been the main focus point for the Jewish people. As Jews, we have a very strict halachic diet, and which was given. It's a chok. A chok means that it's something that we can't really explain. Because it was given from Hashem without a reasoning. Of course, the secrets of the Torah do give a reason. A pshat, in the simplistic meaning of the Torah, it's considered a chok. But we know that a Jew eats kosher. We know it's a known thing amongst all streams of Judaism, whatever they keep. But of course, being an observant Jew, depending if you're a Sephardic or Ashkenazic, the meat that you eat follows a certain strict form of law. And that law, and the reason why meat specifically, is because we know that meat it's very hard to find an animal that fits all the criteria of kasher. Now, throughout Jewish history, the word kasher has been abused, kosher has been abused. So you go to a store and say, oh, these hot dogs are kosher, they're Hebrew national. They're not. So they say it's kosher because they slaughtered the animal, but that doesn't mean that you can eat it. In Judaism, we have something called a nevela and a trefa. The meaning of that is if the animal was slaughtered incorrectly, then it's considered a nevela. There are 5 rules a shochet must follow during the slaughtering ritual, and if he doesn't follow them, the animal is considered a nevela. What's a trefa? A trefa is an animal that was sick. It had us when we open up the animal afterwards, we have to check its internal organs and see would it have lived, according to the rules that we have, would it have lived throughout a year. If it wouldn't, it's considered a tarif. Now, how do we check that? Specifically, all the controversy surrounding the lungs. The lungs of the animal, the lungs of any being is very important. The Ashkenazic authorities hold that if an animal has adhesions, which is like a certain mucus-like substance, which means that the animal had a certain kind of scar over there, but it healed. If there's less than 2, there's many laws, but for example, if there's less than 2 of them, or they're in a certain part, those adhesions, we see them as nothing, because anyways, the animal healed, and the animal is considered glat. But the Sephardic tradition follows the Beth Yosef, which holds a very, very strict opinion, following the Rishonim, and they hold that the lungs of the animal, specifically in this case we're talking about the cow, has to be totally smooth, or chalak. This has the name that we call it is Beth Yosef, but really it's chalak. Chalak means smooth. The Sephardic custom is to follow this method of koshering the meat. That means this is called kosher. This is the real kosher, but we call it Beth Yosef, so people wouldn't confuse it to what other streams of Judaism call kosher, which is not. So, and on the other hand, Ashkenazic follow a more lenient approach and they call it Glat kosher, which even if it has some sort of adhesions, it's considered Glat and it's okay. That's okay for the Ashkenazic Jewry, but the Sephardic Jewry, our custom, our minhag, is to follow the Beth Yosef. The Beth Yosef says that in this case, if the lungs are not totally smooth with no adhesions, you may not eat of that meat. And of course, as a Sephardic Jew, you must follow our customs. And that is the difference between Glat kosher and Beth Yosef meat. Thank you for watching.